Committee of the whole meeting, please rise for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Jeff Renahan, First Ward.
Bill Carlos, Second Ward.
Ann Berger, Third Ward.
Michael Safone, Fourth Ward.
Stefan Cracker, Fifth Ward.
Ann Shushin, Sixth Ward.
Alicia Salvatore, Town Clerk.
Jim Nelson, Attorney for the Town.
Megan Clementi, Vandewater and Vandewater.
John Bailey, Town Supervisor. Welcome everybody to tonight's meeting. On tonight's meeting, the Committee of the Whole, we have a presentation on Deer Creek Transportation Corporation by Craig O'Donnell. In the Town Board meeting, number 1 is a public hearing for 46 Wildwood. It's going to be removed. 2 is public hearing for Arlington Sewer Improvement Area. 3 is a public hearing on the special districts. 4 is a set of date for the public hearing for the 2023 budget. 5 is a resolution to purchase 69 Old Field Road. 6, a notification claim Verizon versus the town. 7 is authorized special consents 1, 2, and 3. 1 and 2. Special consent 1, resignation of Bruce Flower, Deputy Building Inspector. SC 2, authorize the tax cert South Road Hospitality Group. And after that, we'll go into our committee reports. I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules for any item on the agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is there anybody here to discuss any item on the agenda? No? Make a motion to resume the rules?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. O'Donnell.
Good evening. My name's Craig
You
O'Donnell.
want to have a seat, Craig?
I'm sorry?
If you have a seat, that'd be better.
Oh, you want me to
Speaking
sit
to the
down?
mic, yeah.
Oh, okay. My name is Craig O'Donnell. I live in Wappinger, and I'm the owner-builder of the Deer Creek Apartments that are on the northernmost point of Sheep Road, 667, 669 Sheep Road. To service the new apartment complex with sewer service, I constructed a sewer pump system which exists behind the building. And everything was sized to accommodate my surrounding neighbors. So to do that, I need to form a transportation corp, and I need the consent of the town to do so. The system's been up and running for 2 years. I have neighbors and landowners that are interested in connecting, but one of the first steps is form a transportation corp. I forwarded all the documents and information previously requested to the town consultants. And that's pretty much it. I'm just looking for a consent to form the transportation corp, which will take time, and then I can offer the system to be hooked up by others.
Any questions in reference to it? Craig, one question I got, is the Board of Health approved the Transportation Corp? Do they actually approve it?
I'm not sure. I don't
know if it's simultaneous.
I don't think that, no, the Board of Health does not approve it. It's approved by Albany.
I didn't know if I went through them or not.
Yeah.
If this got approved, let's say things didn't work out well for you, who picks up the cost?
Picks up the cost of what?
The transportation for any of the repairs or anything like that? Because you're asking people to buy into it, correct?
No, they're just paying for access to it.
Right, but if But if you go belly up, what happens to them then? What's the safety net for them?
No, the system be turned over to the town. We've already provided that. There's already a contract and documentation for that.
And if they turn it over to the town, then those residents become, or residents or commercial users, whoever become part of that, and they will pick up the tab. And that was my biggest question in the beginning. I brought up to Craig is, if you have outlying people that don't want to be involved and it does go belly up, why should they pay for something they're not involved in? He has a few parties that are very interested in being into it, and they need it.
No, I think we already addressed that in the transportation corp. It'd be specified that even if they're in the district, which there's only going to be 4 people in the district, that if they're not hooked up and they choose not to be hooked up, they won't be responsible for the maintenance or service.
No,
No,
we
just-
have to make a motion moving forward. I wanted Craig to come so everybody knew where it stood, because we've been going back and forth for over a year. So if the board had questions, we can go forward and work with his attorney, who Jim's been working with, to try to move this thing
Are there
forward.
vacant sites around it, like that people can build on at some point and then tie into it?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you know where it is, Ann?
Yes, oh, yeah.
Yeah, so there's the Porco property across the street. I think it's 3 or 4 parcels that total 10 acres or so. He has a potential buyer for that. They've contacted me about hooking in. Valley Christian Church was where the old gym was.
Yes.
But now they're selling it to another party who I've been in discussions with them. Wingate York, which is the warehouse on the corner of Camelot and Chief. They want to tie in. And then the party that owns the Core and Main building. Familiar with that one, where the
Yes.
pipe is? I've spoken to them, and they're not really interested in doing anything at this time. So,
But like, say they sell it in the future and then.
yeah, exactly.
Right,
know?
somebody, there's always opportunity to get in.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
All right, thanks, Greg. You got anything else? Thanks. We'll try to get back to you as soon as possible.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Now we go back to the first item was a presentation of the tentative budget to the town board. Felicia?
I really just have 3 copies. I'm trying to save paper, so they will be emailed to the town board. I have one for the budget, person on the budget finance committee.
Thank you.
Copies. Sorry about that. If anybody wants a hard copy, let me know at the end of the night and I'll leave them in your office.
I'll be sending out soft copies, because I couldn't send it like I scanned everything. So I got Tim set up where I can just click on and bring it to the budget. So I'll email out to everybody after the meeting tonight,
Okay.
because it couldn't go as a full file. It just was too big.
Before we do Charlie's presentation, number 1, we have a public hearing for 46 Wildwood, which is going to be removed. It looks like that was sort of maintained. Let's open public hearing number 2 for the Arlington Sewer Improvement Area number 2.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Is there anybody here to discuss the Arlington Sewer Improvement Area number 2, which is the upgrade to Spack and Kill Pump Station?
Anybody like to speak on this that's on Zoom? I don't see any hands raised.
Not, motion to adjourn, public hearing number 2.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
That would be adjourned to the 20th, is it?
19th?
19.
19th, thank you.
You're adjourning it to the 19th meeting.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes 7-0.
Okay,
Brings us
probably,
to-
so the 19th at 7 o'clock, right? Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
That brings us to our next public hearing on special districts. I'll make the motion to open that public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is there anybody here to discuss the public hearing on special districts? This is your turn to speak. Is there anybody on Zoom that would like to speak? If not, motion to close public hearing, special districts? Those in favor?
Aye.
Be resolved that the town board of town of Poughkeepsie pursuant to a public hearing held on the 5th day of October 2022 at 7 p.m. at the town hall, town of Poughkeepsie, 1 Over Rocker Road, Poughkeepsie, New York, does hereby adopt the special district assessment rule which concerns the water district, sewer districts, and drainage districts of the town of Poughkeepsie, and be it further enacted that the legal notice of public hearing was posted on September 13, 2022, and published in Poughkeepsie Journal on September 19, 2022. So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Brings us to number 4.
Resolution number 4. Be it resolved pursuant to, in accordance with provisions of section 106 of the town law, and other applicable provisions of law, tentative statement of estimated expenditures and revenues heretofore submitted by the supervisor is adopted as the preliminary budget of the town of Poughkeepsie for the fiscal year beginning January 1, 2023. Such preliminary budget is on file in the town clerk's office of the town of Poughkeepsie for public inspection. Be it further resolved that the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie does hereby set the 19th day of October 2022 at 7 p.m. at the Town Hall, Town of Poughkeepsie, 1 over Rocker Road, Poughkeepsie, New York, as the date, time, and place of the public hearing on the preliminary budget for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2023, at which time all interested parties will have the opportunity to be heard, which preliminary budget was approved by this board and filed with the town clerk. And be it further resolved that the town clerk is hereby authorized, empowered, and directed to advertise said public hearing in the Poughkeepsie Journal no less than 5 days prior to the public hearing, and to post the same on, excuse me, on the town clerk's bulletin board. Be it further resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately. So moved.
Second.
By motion second, Charlie, would you like to come and give your presentation before we vote on this? Would you like to bring your deputy with you?
Okay, well, like we do every year, the budget, we started in August, met with all the departments, department heads. We got their input and their wish list on what they were looking for the 2023 budget. Supervisor Baisley, myself, and Jessica sat down, reviewed the budget, and made some preliminary cuts, and kept us under the tax cap again this year. Okay, so just briefly go through a little presentation.
These are just some of the things that the town offers. We got the Arlington Street Fair, Greenville soccer fields, the things that, people don't see in the day-to-day. These are events that cost money, but they're actually something that makes the town a true community that it is.
Okay, this is the total town budget. This is expense-wise. It's not the taxes, it's just each budget for each department. You can see the total for the town itself is 52 million. And then we had Arlington, Fire, Fairview, New Hamburg, Library. Total gross budget for the town of Poughkeepsie is $83,400,000. This is the tax rates. So this is the 2022 compared to the 2023. As you can see, most of the funds, it's been tough with the COVID pandemic and whatnot. A lot of things were put on hold, and we're getting the effects now. Increased prices, delays in deliveries and whatnot. So this is the projection of taxes for 23. See the A fund, B fund, most of the funds are up. Water and sewer are dropping, and
Hudson River.
but we still, like I said, we stayed under the cap for the 5th year in a row. This is some of the issues we faced with the insurance. Workers' comp went up 17%. Medical went up 7%. We reduced the tax rate from $470 per thousand, $419 per thousand. New York State retirement went up again because of the market. We're currently negotiating 3 collective bargaining units. Again, the repercussions from COVID, price increases. What's helping us a lot is the ARP money we're using for infrastructure. That's where water and sewer were an increase. We can able to use the ARP money to fund some of the infrastructure. Okay, we're maintaining staff, no cuts in staff, and we're adding, I think, 2 part-timers.
And Charlie, along the line with part-timers in departments that are taxed to a limit, and with the way the market is today, instead of bringing on a full-time employee, if the market slides, to have to lay somebody off, a part-timer is easier to replace. It's not a job they're dependent on their life with, so it makes it that much harder. So instead of jumping the gun and just hiring new full-timers, we got some part-timers to fill a couple of those slots for right now.
This is basically major reasons why we're able to stay under the tax cap. As you can see, the mortgage tax for 21 is 1.7 million. I think we budgeted 950. In 2022, we budgeted 1.2 million, and we're already there. We already hit that number, and we have 4 months left in the year. So we'll have, again, excess money in mortgage tax. Sales tax, same thing. It's been increasing.
But Charlie, along the line of what you said with the mortgage tax, people have to remember, we have a super hot market. We fell in this problem years ago. We kept increasing up to what the limit was, and then the market fell, and we were short almost, I think it was $700,000 or $800,000 that year. So we're being very conservative. We're staying a year behind the market to make sure our numbers stay solid.
Yeah, I only budgeted 1.2 million again this year on the mortgage tax. Sales tax, same, has been doing very good, helping us tremendously in the B fund. As you can see, we're over 3 million the last 2 years. 22 looks like it's gonna be over 3 million again. I think this year we did raise the sales tax to 3 million. I think the county's coming out with a plan with a fixed, like it used to, and we believe it's gonna be over 3 million. But again, taking a conservative approach, we only put 3 million in the budget for sales.
That was a part of the new plan when they signed on with the 2 cities to allot how they go for not having a sales tax. They changed the formula for the towns, and it should not take us below where we are now, is what we were told.
Correct, yes.
But we're not gonna get the escalation that we've been getting, is that?
It's not guaranteed anymore. We'll see where it goes. We're still getting it now. They have to see where the market goes, because the sales tax has been going through the roof. You know?
Somebody else is balancing their budget with our money.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Of course. Okay, this is a quick, I put together just with the assessed values going up. I put the tax rate in and where you would be on a $300,000 house. Spoke to Jennifer in the assessing department. She said the average cost for a house between $315 and $325 for the town. So I took 300, and then I went with the increased assessed value, 10%, 20%, 30%, and showed where the tax rate's gonna be.
The rate this year is a 2020 for, say if your house is 300,000, it's 1410 for the town. And if you went to 360, which is a 20% increase, a $60,000 increase in your taxes, you'd be going from 1410 to 1508.
Right, it's about $100,
Yeah.
yes.
If you go that high, if you're only going up 25 or 30,000, your town tax is actually going down. Because the tax rate is going down, and some of the numbers that she's added, some of the commercial numbers and some of the homes and the values of going over the assessed values of homes. They've increased some homes more than others because they're actually out doing a lot of legwork in the neighborhoods and
Yeah, we
making
moved
sure-
back up to 100% valuation.
And she's done a lot of work with the building department also to make sure everything that's on your property is assessed, so they've been going back and logging in all the building reports.
Okay, what I wanted to, and you'll see one of the slides, the town tax for, again, a $325,000 house is like $1,300, $1,368. And what we provide at the town is we got police coverage 24/7, 365 days a year. That's 83 full-time police officers, lieutenants, captains, and a chief. We provide townwide leaf pickup through the fall season. We make several trips through the town, make sure all the leaves are picked up. Highway, snow plowing and salting, got 148 miles of road through the town, and it's all plowed and salted.
And Charlie, along the line of the snow plowing and the highway departments, we do have a contract with the county that we do a shared service, and we clean some of the roads that we're driving through anyway, and the county pays us back for them. So we are trying to make it as efficient as possible. We do, I think it's part of Creek Road, and we do part of Main Street, and maybe a couple other ones, but it works as a good shared service.
5.1 miles.
Yeah, we do 5.1 miles. Thanks, Superintendent.
Okay. We have a senior center that's open 5 days a week. This is a picture of a St. Patrick Day party. This is a slide of the, senior center Christmas party. Water department. This is all covered under our taxes. They have 230 miles of water mains through the town. And we also provide sewer. We have 33 sewer districts in the town with a treatment plant. So
Charlie,
I just wanted to,
along the line of the water, we are the only town in Dutchess County besides the city of Beacon and the city of Poughkeepsie. So we're the only town that serves all the residents or offered the accessibility to fresh drinking water, some of the best water that can be produced as far as drinking water goes. And it is also at, if I'm 99% sure, by far the cheapest rate for water going
It
around.
absolutely
Other towns
is.
are 2 to 3 times higher than us
yes.
on water. So our water rate is great. Some of the average people in a single home are only paying $30 a quarter, and some towns are paying that much per month.
I think the minimum, it's like $18.75 a quarter. So, this is just a recap of what we just went through. Police force. I failed to mention the transfer station is open free to residents throughout the year. So just 21 parks, baseball, softball, pickleball, soccer, basketball, and tennis, all part of your taxes.
And if you look around at your parks, the last couple of years, there's been quite a few improvements added to the parks. I mean, they needed work, we're getting the work done, and we're getting it done efficiently.
Okay, this is the breakdown of the taxes. This includes the county tax, town tax, fire, and library. I broke it down into districts because the fire departments have their own budgets, and it creates a big difference. So this is the Arlington area. You can see where the fire is it's 44% of the total tax dollar.
What we want people to know, usually when you see this pie chart every other year, we've always included the school districts, but when your town tax bill comes out, this is what's on the town tax bill. This is what the town sends you the bill, and the town is only responsible for the dark green, on this one, the dark green portion. Dutchess County is the other smaller portion, and the Poughkeepsie Library District is the orange,
Yeah.
and the yellow is the fire district. The town's responsible for the green portion in this slide of 30%, and we're not responsible for school district budgets, so we did not put that in there. So when people, come in, even though they're paying their school taxes here, we don't have anything to do with the school budget besides collect the tax dollars. So that's why we left that off the chart this year, but it's we incorporated in the very last chart, so you
Yeah, I
get an
got
idea.
total tax on the last chart.
How do we get the yellow to be smaller?
I think their meeting's by October 17th, right
All
down the block.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is the Spack and Kill area. Again, you can see the school district's 44%, town is 30% of this tax bill.
Fire district.
Fire district, I'm sorry. Yes. In Wappingers, you can see, this is, this is New Hamburg, and you can see it's 17%, and the town takes a bigger share here because the fire district's more. We got 43%, county's 30%, and the fire is only 17%.
That department's 100% volunteer down there, so their budget is at this time, less than $1 million a year.
And this is Wappingers area with the Arlington Fire District. Again, it jumps up with the fire district 44%, town 30%, county 20%. Okay, on this this is total taxes for the year. It broke it down to Arlington area, Arlington Fire, then Wappingers with New Hamburg, Wappingers with the Arlington Fire Department, Spack and Kill with the Arlington Fire Department, and Hyde Park with the Fairview Fire Department. It's quite a difference. You take people in the same town, in Wappingers with New Hamburg, $7,900 in taxes, compared to Fairview, $11,800.
And if you look at the numbers going across the board, you know, county for $926, you get quite a few services for that. And you look at the town, $1,368. And you look at the list of what Charlie passed around, senior center, you know, full police coverage, town hall, recreation, maintaining 22 parks. So for the average homeowner, if you have a shouldn't say average, the person has a $325,000 home, is paying just over $100 a month for their town tax bill. But when they look at their final town tax bill and they see the big numbers, you know, that's where you get upset. But we're responsible for that one number, and we do the best we can. We do shared service with whoever we can, whether it's the county, you know, fire, the library, and we have done some shared service with the library this year as far as, you know, their bookmobile and different things. So we are working with other people. That's usually like the best route we can do, is to try to help with their tax burden, is us working with them in a shared service scenario. But we're responsible for that town line that's on there, and that's ours. The rest of the stuff, counties, Marcus Molinaro, the county executive, the library is run by their own board. The fire districts are all run by their board, as the school district is. So our line and our number is that 1368 is the number the town is responsible for. And I think for what we're giving and what we're offering, the town is doing their best to keep their budget to where they can. We've kept under the 2%, and all the department heads, if you went around and knocked on their doors, would all tell you it wasn't an easy process, you know, to work and try to get them, on top of that, to try to get them to purchase items that they may need for the winter that have gone up 20 or 30%, some of them not knowing when they were coming, delayed stuff coming in. I know we ordered a vehicle, and they told us like 18 months to get the vehicle in. So it's, on top of that, it's not been an easy budget. And then for things that we thought were coming, still aren't here. And if something shows up and gets it, we can't let it go by, and we have to get it when we can. So it made it a very difficult process, and I want to thank all the department heads that took place in going over this, because the numbers change constantly. I mean, we didn't expect our workman's comp number to go up that high. Originally, when we started the budget process, the retirement number had gone down a little bit, and then right in the middle of the process, it went back up to, I think for town employees, it's still 17 or 20%, Charlie?
17%. It was actually, police jumped quite a bit. On the first estimate, it was down to like 24, now it's over 33%
Yeah.
on the police.
Yeah, they're up high, so that keeps going. I mean, as much what the salaries are, there's certain things that they're not necessarily mandated, but there's things that we don't have control over. And the insurance market is another one that keeps going up.
Just like you said, I just wanted to order police cars for next year. It was only open 2 days. You had to get your order in those 2 days, and they closed all the orders. So if you didn't get your order in, I think it was August 8th or 10th, something like that. If we didn't get our order in, you're not getting cars next year. So, I mean, that's how, you know, difficult it is to get things, and they just stopped taking orders, you know.
And I will reiterate, with the ARP money, we put it towards infrastructure of all different sorts. We're doing some infrastructure work here. We're trying to do some other work in town, to modernize town, and water and sewer. We kept it all in-house, were items that we could get that may help maintain the budget or keep some numbers lower. That was an advantage that we did have. Otherwise, the budget probably wouldn't have been easy to deal with. As good a number that we came out with for all the work that was involved in it.
Any questions?
Questions?
Yeah. I'll send out an email to the finance committee so we can sit down and discuss. We'll set up a few appointments and meetings.
All right.
Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you.
Resolution number 5. Whereas the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie has been advised that real property located at 69 Old Field Road, Poughkeepsie, New York, 12603-1708, tax parcel number 6262-04-572357, which at the rear abuts the parcel for the town of Poughkeepsie's water tank on Barnes Drive, is available for purchase. And whereas the purchase of the property will enable the town to have a second point of access by an 18-inch wide drive, 18 feet?
15 foot.
Foot, thank you. To the Barnes Drive water tank parcel from Old Field Road at a more moderate incline than the existing Barnes Drive access point, which new drive will better assure continuous and safer access to the tank during severe weather and other emergencies. And whereas the town board has reviewed the annex contract of sale under which the town would purchase the land for $75,000 with $7,500 to be deposited on contract without the issuance of bonds or notes. And whereas the proposed contract will allow the town to conduct its necessary title, survey, environmental, and fiscal due diligence as conditions to taking title. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board does hereby authorize the supervisor to execute the annex contract of sale in substantially the form presented, and to execute the documents necessary to purchase the property in question, subject to the contract terms. And number one, the procurement of fee title insurance at New York State standard rate of $535, plus ancillary expenses from River City Abstract showing that the town will receive title free and clear of all interests, liens, restrictions, and encumbrances. And number two, the procurement of a survey, if deemed necessary by the supervisor, from CPL Engineering on a time and materials basis pursuant to the terms of its contract with the town, which survey shall show no encroachments or other impairments of title. And number three, the completion of a cultural resource assessment of the property by Hudson Cultural Services at a price not to exceed $1,035. And be it further resolved that the town board, after review of the annex contract and the facts presented to date, has determined that this purchase is an unlisted action pursuant to the New York State Environmental Quality Review Act, and that the town is the only involved agency, and the town will conduct the environmental review of this action, and that based on the above and its review of the annex short form environmental assessment form, this purchase and the installation of the access drive will not result in any significant adverse environmental impact, by reason of which, be it further resolved that the supervisor is authorized to answer no to the questions in part 2 of the EAF and to endorse a negative declaration at part 3 thereon. So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions? Just so everybody knows, one of the reasons behind getting this, if you ever been to Barnes Drive, the access is extremely steep. And we've done a study about adding a second tank up on Barnes Drive. This will make the access and the egress in and out of that a lot easier to work on as time goes forward. And for the price of what it was, and it was the only piece of property up there that gives us a better access point. We figured it was something definitely the town should take advantage of while it was available. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
All right, number 6 is a notification of claim for the legal Verizon versus the town. Number 7 is be resolved, the town board, town of Poughkeepsie does hereby grant special consent to the following items to wit. 1, accept the resignation of Bruce M. Flower, Deputy Building Inspector. And 2, authorize tax certiorari South Road Hospitality Group. And be it further resolved that upon the objection of any member of the town board, an item may be removed from the list and voted on separately. So moved.
We have a motion second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0.
Be it resolved, the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie does accept with regret the resignation of Bruce M. Flower, Deputy Building Inspector with the town of Poughkeepsie Building Department, effective October 4, 2022. So moved.
Second.
We have a motion, motion
Yes,
second.
sorry.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Wish Bruce the best of luck. He starts his new job tomorrow, and our loss in his gain, I think he'll do very well in his next position.
Be resolved, the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie does hereby authorize the settlement of a tax certiorari proceeding instituted by South Road Hospitality Group for the property located in the town of Poughkeepsie and designated as tax grid number 616003-64112 for the 2022-2023 tax assessment roll as shown on the attached consent order and judgments. And be further resolved that the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie does hereby authorize the supervisor or his designee, town assessor Jennifer Munn and Craig Barnett of Vanderwater LLP to sign such papers as necessary to effectuate said settlement. So moved.
Second.
Motion second. Any questions?
What building is this?
Now you're gonna ask me, and I can't remember.
When I looked it up on Google Maps, it appeared that it was the Cloud 9 Hotel was at that address.
What hotel?
Cloud 9.
Cloud 9, it used to be the Red Roof Inn. It's next to the Hampton.
Did it get worse? Is that possible?
Yeah. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Motion passes 6-1. That brings us to the end of our town board meeting. I'd like to go into the committee reports. Finance?
We'll be meeting with the finance committee and comptroller, to review the budget, so we'll be busy. That's it though.
Technology?
Tech?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Okay, last month on our website, we had 7,300 user visits, and 6,340 of them were new visits, so that's good. And the top pages that they went to was the main page, payment processing, receiver taxes, building, and the clerk's page. Then also on our government delivery emails, we have 117 additional subscribers there. And that brings up our total to 3,329 total subscribers to our email. And other things that have been completed, we've had some completed projects, including Munis training, which is our financial software. There was a billing refresher course that's been completed. And the automation of our financial reporting for our online payment process has been completed, so they can get better and quicker reports with that. And then also the infrastructure, we've done some switching over the programming with that. Now, some things coming up is the end of the month, we're going to begin our new phones installed throughout the buildings. And then the internet is going to have a service upgrade planned for November, so hopefully everybody will be enjoying faster internet service. And we have a new intern coming on in the next couple of weeks, and they're going to be working 2 to 4 hours a week for us, so that'll be great help. And that's everything.
Recreation?
Okay, a lot planned for the recreation department for the month for all ages. Let's see, here's just a few things. There's the trunk or treat that's going to be at Greenville Park from 12 to 2 on October 29th. Games, the parade at 1 o'clock, pumpkin painting, prizes. You know, they're still looking for participants that want to, you know, decorate their vehicles and hand out stuff for there. So just call the rec department. On Halloween itself, on 10/31, there's going to be trick-or-treating for the kids at both the town hall and the highway department. You can stop by and get your treats there. Pickleball, like I said, there was a big turnout for the first lessons for pickleball, so they have another one, and there's still a few spots that are still open. You can just register online or just call the rec department. That's going to be on 10/15 from 10 a.m. to 12. A new thing going on is swing dancing lessons. They're going to be on Sunday, November 13th at 3 p.m. at the Senior Center. Again, go online and register or call the rec department. And this is just a few things there. You can see the full list of events and activities if you visit the Town of Poughkeepsie Recreation page. So there's a lot planned.
Fire advisory, thank you, Mr. Ryan.
Fire advisory, I think most should know that October is Fire Prevention Month time. It's really Fire Prevention Week, but obviously a lot celebrated through the month. So all the departments through the town are having events of some sort. So just be on the lookout. I know that most will post it either on their website or just, like I said, I know they'll be visiting schools, they'll be visiting businesses, so just look out for some of the fire prevention things.
And Jeff, as a chief, if you talk to any of them, they can send stuff to us and we will post it, we will send it out on our email channel.
That was the next thing I was gonna say. We met with Mike, I'm sorry, Mike Minor?
Minor.
I want to make sure his first name is Mike, sorry, but I thought it was. And when we met at our committee, he's willing to do videos and post stuff on the community channel. So we're gonna start working on some, you know, public service announcements and tips and post them on the community channel, as well as try to get some videos to both, you know, shows fire safety tips as well as recruitment to those departments that are looking obviously to recruit members.
Congratulations on your 40 years, Jeff.
Thank you. That's all.
Infrastructure,
Nothing to report.
personnel,
Nothing to report.
building consolidation, we're working strong. Hopefully, the next month or so, we'll be out here discussing the project with everybody. We're finalizing our study, and we're just going over it. The board members have met with the consultants, so putting our stuff together, and we'll be out shortly to discuss our next steps on where we're going with this project. And also, I want to thank the police department for workplace violence training last week. They came up with what's been going on. We came up last Wednesday, and Lieutenant Barry and Sergeant Walsh came up, and they met with all the town employees and gave us ideas and changes we can make. We'll be implementing some changes in here, and just look out for what to be careful for. And I hate to say it, but you learn things, and 2 days later, they had an incident at the highway department. They're doing exactly what to do. They knew how to react, and I want to thank the police department for showing up and taking care of that situation over there. And also, as everybody knows, the incident that happened at the Marriott Courtyard this week. First, our condolences go out to the family who was involved in the incident, but I also want to thank our police department. You know, everybody always complains about different things, whether it's budget issues or what, but when it comes head to head, our police department was the strongest you could expect. They went in diligently, professionally, and neutralized that scene in minutes to what could have turned out to be an absolutely horrific situation. So again, I want to thank them. I received a couple letters from visitors that were staying in the hotel that day, how they were treated, how the situation was handled. So I really want to thank them for what they did. You know, for the small group that was there in the beginning, the few officers there did a great job, and the command that went on beyond there, the amount of time and effort that went on, whether it was the district attorney's office, Dutchess County, the state police, everybody that was involved. There's multiple agencies. The chief had a list of about 10 or 12 of them that arrived on the scene, and the professional manners everybody was treated, I think, was top level. And it shows the chief, again, thank you, and thank you for your direction to your staff, and please send this message along to your department. That's all I have.
I just got, with recreation, the Town of Poughkeepsie Soccer Club is having its annual Columbus Day tournament this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. There's, I think, over 100 teams participating. Most brackets are sold out. It's going to be a great weekend of soccer. There's food trucks, other vendors. It should be a lot of fun. The town rec department has done a great job of working with the soccer club to get everything ready for the tournament. So I want to thank Janet and CJ. And then just to reiterate what Jay said, the tragedy this weekend was scary, and our police department is well-trained, well-prepared, and led by a great group of people. The women and men of the Town of Poughkeepsie Police Department went into a situation where most people would never, ever think of going, and prevented something from getting much worse. So I was extremely impressed, but not surprised, because I've got to work with these people over the years and got to know them, and the bravery and the training was crystal clear. So thank you, Chief. Thank you to our police department.
And that goes from the top on down. It starts with the leadership right down to the newest officer on staff.
Yep.
With that, I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules for any item.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is there anybody in the audience that would like to bring up any item?
Okay, can I make an announcement, or you want me to wait till after?
There's nobody speaking, so go ahead.
Oh, right. Well, it's just really quick. Friday, October 14th is going to be the last of the movie nights at Arlington. This is held at the open space next to Craft a Cup on Raymond Avenue. And October 14th, they're going to be showing Hocus Pocus and Beetlejuice. So it's going to be a double header. And also, they're going to start as soon as it gets dark. So it's probably going to be like 6:30, maybe a little bit earlier. So they're going to try to start it as soon as possible, and bring a blanket. It could be nippy.
Anybody anything else before we make a motion to resume the rules?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Renihan.
Be it resolved, the Town Board of Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby adjourn to executive session to consider the following: discussions regarding proposed pending or current litigations, Murphy First Town, LG 52 First Town, to discuss matters which are exempt under the open meeting law, including matters subject to the attorney-client privilege, and be it further resolved that no action appropriating money will be taken. So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0. Town board goes in executive session at 7:44 PM. Thank you.